So this is a totally unplanned video, as I got home to some talk about Nest being nerfed, hit up the forums and saw this post. Nest was previously gaining protection based on her max health, not her current max health. Essentially things weren't scaling properly and have now been corrected, and much like with Night Sister Zombie, the community is split about this. I've seen arguments that this should have been fixed ages ago if it's how she was intended to be in the first place. Others are happy, others are grabbing a torch and pitchforks, but pretty much everyone is reacting strongly one way or another, as Nest has been in play for quite some time and this has kind of come out of the blue. I myself only zated her recently. From what I can see, this will largely only affect Nest against Revan, and it's been entirely possible to cheese wins against Revan by exploiting the way that this has worked up until now. But it's worth noting that it's not only Nest who is going to be affected. Daka, First Order Execution and a few others are now going to work a little differently too. It's worth noting that in situations of stacking max health like with Darth Nihilus, the damage and debuffs do scale correctly and in line with this change on Nest, so this isn't without precedent. This is how it works elsewhere on other buffs already. It's also worth noting that health down debuffs will now be pretty valuable against these bonus protection based characters. It'll take a little experimenting, but I expect a few battles can now be played differently. Will this break Nest entirely and make Revan too OP? Well, no. I mean, I beat Revan regularly, as do many others, and none of us were using Nest to do it in the first place. I suppose what most people are angry about is there was no real warning like we got with Night Sister Zombie, which for the record I was in full support of. I was a day one Night Sister user and it never really sat right with me that a glass zombie was more useful, particularly without the option to remove gear. I suggested some of the changes that we eventually got with Zombie reviving others at her expense, even if I would like to have seen more of a link to Daka, considering she was the one conjuring them. I still feel Nest will be useful. She has a great kit, lightning fast, and brings a great deal to the team. It's just going to be important to ensure that she's healthy and not likely to allow you to cheese Revan anymore. Much like when Traya sat on top though, teams have been discovered that'll take down Revan anyway, and many Revan teams have fallen in arena a lot sooner than Traya did. That said, it will be considerably easier to get rid of Nest when she's on defense. Spam some health down, hit her hard, and she'll drop. Although I haven't really seen Nest in my arena shard for months, so outside of some territory wars battles, I don't think a great majority of us are even going to notice this was a thing. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you for or against this change? Have you noticed any other characters who will be affected by the way bonus protection works now? It should be interesting to see if the few ways I normally use Nest myself will be worthwhile now, and I'm just hoping it's not going to be a case of wasted resources. I guess we'll all find out the effect in the next territory wars. Until next time guys, we out of here.